Am I the asshole for fake sleeping all night to see if my wife is lying? The past couple of months, my wife has been complaining about our cats. She's been claiming that the cats wake her up constantly and that she's frustrated every night that she has to get up and open the door for the cats. Or the cats keep making noises, or the cats keep jumping on her. It got me to the point where she started saying she wants me to get rid of them. I've told her I've never seen or heard any of this, but she claims I sleep through it all. She kept telling me that she was getting less and less sleep and kept acting aggressive, blaming lack of sleep from the cats and that if I didn't get rid of them, she'd leave me. I legitimately started considering giving the cats to my sister until I noticed something. One morning, she claimed she had gotten up multiple times throughout the night to help the cats. She listed a bunch of times. I thought it was weird because I had been up until 4 a.m. and she claimed that she got up at 1 a.m. to open the door for them and a few times around 3 a.m. because they were meowing and jumping on her. I was in the bedroom the entire time while she slept, and I know none of this happened. Things weren't adding up, so I decided to run a test. I waited until she said she was going to bed, then I let the cats out of our bedroom. I lowered my phone brightness and faked going to sleep. I just laid there in my bed for the entire night bored, but I definitely did not fall asleep. I made sure to make timestamps every 30 minutes on my phone through Discord just to be sure. I marked down every noise my cats made. One cat had jumped down from something and made a little noise around 3:18 a.m. and one ate food relatively quietly by the bedroom door at 4:57 a.m. Other than that, nothing happened. Sure enough, my wife slept from 11 p.m. until 9 a.m. and that morning she claimed she had woken up at least 7 times to open doors from the cat noises and cats jumping on her. At this point, I was pissed because she was clearly lying to me. I was exhausted and fed up with the lies, so I bluntly called her out on it. I told her, "That's funny. I stayed up all night to monitor the cats and they weren't even in the room at all last night. I have timestamps and everything, so you've been lying to me and trying to convince me to get rid of my cats? Why?" She just sat there quietly shaking and looking pissed, then got up and left without answering. She came back hours later and ignored me whenever I talked, and when I asked her how I'm the bad guy in the situation, she finally said that I was treating her like a child by lying about sleeping and staying up all night just to see if she was lying or not. And that making timestamps and everything as if I was an investigator was going too far and makes me an obsessive asshole. I did it because she was threatening to make me get rid of the cats or she'd leave me, and her claims didn't add up. So am I the obsessive asshole here?
So I took this picture on the flight back home from Korea, and let me tell y'all, this was an interesting flight. So I was sitting in a middle seat. I was bummed about that, and I had an older Korean guy on my side already, and I didn't know who the other passenger would be. And then all of a sudden, I see this tall, attractive, young Korean man wearing gray sweatpants and glasses like mine walking down the aisle. And he puts his stuff over on the overhead bin right where I'm sitting, and then he sits down. And I'm like, okay, maybe this flight won't be so bad. It's 15 hours, but this might be a nice 15 hours. So during the flight, he did allow me to use him as a pillow. I'm pretty sure I was leaning on him at some point, but he did not move me. And then the funny thing is, I could feel him staring at me at one point. And I'm like, why is this man staring at me? And so I turn towards him, and that's when he starts talking. And he's like, is it uncomfortable for you? And I'm like, kind of confused, like, is what uncomfortable for me? Y'all wanted this part 2 so badly, so here it is, y'all. Okay, so when he said, is it uncomfortable for you? I was baffled for a second because I'm like, what the heck is this man talking about? And then I realized he had just turned a light on and he was like trying to read his book. And so he's like making sure that the light is not uncomfortable for me. So I'm like, oh, no, that's fine. You're okay. And so then he goes back to reading, right? And I'm just like, why he ask it like that? But then, so he goes back to reading. About an hour or so later, I needed to use the bathroom. I did not want to say anything, but like it was killing me. So I mustered up the courage to tap him on the shoulder. I tap him on the shoulder and then I just point. And then he's like, oh, like he realizes what I'm talking about. So he gets up and he like makes a way for me to go by. So I walk past him, I go into the bathroom, do my business, and I come back. And then when I come back, he's not there until I sit down. As soon as I sit down, he comes back and sits down next to me. Okay, it's time for part 3 of the airplane story, y'all. So after he sat back down, I was a little shocked because that was the first time a guy had done that. So I was just like, he was pretty much just like checking in on me. And I was like, yeah, I'm cool. Thank you for that. You know, I said my thank yous or whatever. He did not have to do that. Like, he did not have to wait for me, right? Like, I was like, why did he do that? But, like, on the flight, I mean, he was pretty normal. He was drinking some alcohol. He did order some alcohol. He was taking selfies. I think he did some skincare. You know, you can tell he's a very well-kept man, you know, reading, you know, just philosophical type or whatever. But, y'all, I did not know how old this man was. I did not know anything. I assumed he was in his 20s, right? I was only 19 at the time, but I mean, we parted ways like I didn't say anything to him after that. I mean, he's the one that got away. He really is.
I used to talk to people online, strangers, and there was this guy and his name was Seth and he was super emo and I thought he was so cute. So I wanted to impress him, so I did what I did best. I lied. And I was like in 7th grade. Seventh, yeah, I think it was 7th. And he's like, hey, what's up? And I'm like, nothing. What's up with you? Rar. And he rars back. And I'm like, so what are you doing? And by the way, like, I was having a birthday party and we were having a scavenger hunt at Walmart. So we had just finished the scavenger hunt at Walmart. And he texted me and he's like, I'm getting stoned. I did not know what that meant. I had zero idea what that meant, but I was like, I don't want to ask him. Like, I want to be cool. Like, I want him to think I do that too. So I was like, me too. I get stoned all the time. And my mom grabbed my phone and she's like, do you get stoned? Yeah, all the time. And she starts yelling and screaming in front of all my friends. And she's like, I can't believe you got stoned. Where do you get stoned? I'm like, I don't know. I just do it at home. Where? You're gonna... Oh my God. And I'm like, just like anywhere. Like anywhere I can get stoned, I get stoned. And I think she started to catch on. I had no idea what the fuck I was talking about. Cause she goes, okay. Well, how do you get stoned? And I was like, I use a rock. I use a rock to get stoned. Oh my God. And she just stared at me and was like, no, you don't. I was like, yes, I do. I do get stoned. And she was like, you're a liar. You lie to people. You don't know how to get stoned. And then I finally was like, yeah, I lied. I don't know how, but I want to know. Cause Seth does it. And she's like, who the fuck is Seth? And I'm like, he's the love of my life. He told me he loves me. He said rar.
I'm coming home, I'm coming home. Tell the world I'm coming home. Let the rain wash away all the pain of yesterday. I know my